injury updates. Yesterday, obviously, he practiced, but will Dawson Mercer be in the lineup today?
He will, yeah.
The Devils have played well, very well, in the last 2 games particularly. What is sustainable, and what does that tell you about what this team might be able to do moving forward?
Well, I don't know if giving up one shot in the first period is sustainable, but certainly the process and the effort that we put forth in order to have those results, that is sustainable and something that we'd like to replicate. And no matter what the shot clock says, we just want to establish our process early, as we've been talking about doing. Is getting to our game quicker, and I think we've done that here of late.
What has particularly happened where you've been able to get there quicker?
I just think, like right from the start, the guys have recognized, that there's a process of how we want to play to start with. We want to tilt the ice as quickly as we can. We want to get on top of the opposition, and then just keep tight gaps and have good sticks. And as the effort is increased from the get-go in terms of the pace that we've defended with, that's kept things away from our net and has given us a few more opportunities on offense. So just want to stay with that.
Any update on Jake Gallen?
He skated again today. He's progressing very well.
Okay.
Sheldon, you talked about it a little bit there, about over the course maybe of these, this homestand here, that defensive effort. Is there a point that you can kind of find in their game, in your team's game, of when that really started clicking for your guys, that it became almost hopefully natural?
I have to go back now and think about, but we had a little bit of a gap where we started to really talk about our starts, right. And went through what our game has looked like when we have started well, mm-hmm. and games we haven't, and just recognize the second, third periods in a lot of our games we've been quite good, and there's no reason why we can't establish that early. So just a matter of getting to it. But the guys have committed to it very well. But consistency is the game, So it's a new day here today. It's a new opportunity to establish it once again, and then hope that offensively we can get a few more to fall for us today too.
Coach, the Blackhawks have a high-profile prospect making his debut today. What do you expect from a guy like him, if anything?
Just adds to the overall skill of their group. I'm sure he'd be excited, as with their whole group, to welcome him in. I mean, this is a team, to me, it's filled with, you talk about the young talent. Of course, Bedard gets a lot of attention for good reason, but they got lots of good veterans as well. So, you got to be prepared, to play against this group. So that's really it for us, no matter who we're playing against. We just talked about our effort here on home ice recently and the way that we've played. That's got to be, no matter what day it is, but no matter what time of game we're playing, no matter who the opponent is, you got to be ready for it. So that'll be our message today.
Your guys' top line has carried a lot of the point production over the last handful of games, but Nico Hischier's line has looked excellent in the offensive zone. What are you liking out of that group, even though they're maybe not showing up on the stat sheet right now?
Well, I thought, you talk about our first period efforts. I thought the other night that line was outstanding. Timo Meier might have played his best game of the season, even though the puck doesn't go in for him. Just the forecheck pressure that he put on the opposition, creating some chances for himself and line mates. But you just look at this homestand. I mean, it's hasn't been easy, right? I mean, they're playing, it's McKinnon and it's Matthews, it's Kopitar the other night with Kempe and Moore there. Like, that's a tough matchup, and Nico and his line mates have done a really nice job there. And over time, they're going to get rewarded with the goals to go in, but they're playing very, very important minutes and nullifying, the opposition's top offensive group.
You mentioned Bedard. When you've coached against him in the past, what do you see that gives him such massive potential?
I mean, it's not what I see. I think it's what everybody sees. He's an elite talent. He's one of these, super young players that come in, and I guess with playing against him last season, what I maybe wasn't as prepared for, or didn't recognize or appreciate quite as much, is how great he is coming through the neutral zone and carrying the puck through, and his playmaking ability. He gets a lot of attention for good reason with his shot and his release, and certainly that's a great weapon for him, but he's got a lot more going on to his game offensively that you've got to respect.
Coach, any changes to the lineup there?